Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining. I'm Herbert, and this is Tesla Minute. Today, Friday, we have Brian White. He's the host of his own YouTube channel called MyTeslaWeekend. Welcome, Brian. Always love having you the day before the weekend.
Well, how are you, Herbert? It's great to be here. It's great to see you. What another week it has been.
The stock almost went through 200 today. Why did it not do that? Well, we'll still have an hour to go, so we'll see.
I think a lot of that comes down to psychological stuff, round numbers, resistance.
Shouldn't be psychological. It should be all about this amazing information. So let's go through this. So Tesla China, they reported that they sold 66,000 vehicles in January. And then despite the Chinese New Year break. And then this is Gary Black's tweet, says the CPCA. You told me what this stands for. What does it stand for?
Chinese Passenger Car Association.
Okay, so they reported the sales were 18% in January over December to 66,000. And the overall industry for China, even not just the BEVs, but the NEV sales fell 45%. So that's great news for Tesla, showing their strength. This is, again, given the Chinese New Year happened in January this year. And of course, is because of the China price cuts that they did on January 6th. So yeah, what's your thoughts on this?
It's a couple things. So first of all, growing year over year is great, but growing from January over December is bigger because January, as you know, there's closures. But Tesla has long had this tradition where if you want to work through the New Year holiday, you're welcome to. All we ask is that you let us pay you double or triple to do it. And a lot of people find that attractive. So they're cranking out vehicles when others aren't because they've got the margin with which to play. The labor is a small part of the total cost of the car, so they're able to keep pushing them out. The other automakers, once Tesla cut prices, BYD, Xiaopeng, Leo, they all saw big drops in their orders because the Tesla's like the same price or maybe 10,000 more. Which one would you rather have? And so it's a big deal.
Okay, let's keep moving. Lots of new big deals coming. Here's another one. So Berlin Energy reported this. This is the U.S. sales by manufacturer, January compared to December. And we look at the comparison here. Woohoo, look at that. So this is January. Tesla grew by 23%, and everybody else, on average, the industry is negative 17%. January versus December, and poor Honda.
Not poor Honda. Honda did the best. They did only down 7%. Now, if you'd have look back to the 90s, you remember how the Accord was dominating, the Civic. Acura was up and coming and moving big units. Toyota with the Camry and the Tercel and all of it. The RAV4, all of it. You would not have convinced me even 3 years ago that we'd be looking at a chart like this. What's different? What's going on that makes Tesla uniquely poised to capitalize on growth like this?
Yeah, what's interesting is they are obviously 23%, but everybody else has fallen big time, whether because they're selling too much of the ICE car mix or Tesla's eating their lunch when it comes to EVs as well. But look at that. Okay.
You can tell me for 2 or 3 of them it's a part supply issue, but you can't tell me that everybody except Tesla can't get parts. That doesn't make sense. They doing something different.
They're doing something different. Okay, so let's talk Cybertruck. So these we're starting to see more Cybertruck pictures. This is getting quite exciting. Now, in the earnings call, it was a little bit of a downplayed. Elon downplayed it a bit, right? Saying he didn't say anymore. He didn't say that it was going to be by mid-year. He said sometime in 2023, and then he did caution saying that don't think that it's going to contribute too much in profitability until the following year. We're starting to see Cybertruck pictures. Looks like there's a previous prototype, but new wheels, similar, same design. And then the question is how big of this is for the bed. So here's one of the incredible pictures we saw. She looks really small. I mean, I don't know. Does she look small?
She does.
I mean,
look at the size of the wheel itself, not the tire, but the wheel. That's probably a 19-inch wheel. So I would agree with you that is a person of above average height. a below average
Oh,
height. Sorry.
yeah,
Sorry.
okay. So it's not that the Cybertruck is, all of a sudden become gigantic or anything. Okay.
Right.
Well, tell me what you see here. What do you see? Anything unique or what is it
Yeah.
different?
So the first thing we're looking at is these wheels do not look much different than what Tesla already has, what's already in their supply line. Those tires are regular road tires. Those are tires. Those Fail Train says she's 38 inches tall.
Yeah.
The tires are real all-terrain road tires that you could use. The ones on the prototype, they were beautiful, but you would never want to use those in the real world. This is a configuration of wheels and tires you could actually live with.
Okay. Fantastic. So we saw this. I wonder what she's doing. Is she like talking to the cameraman? Get out of here.
She's saying that is exactly what that face looks like to me.
Stop taking the photo. Okay. Here's another photo. Wonderful. Look at these 8 giant tires in the back. It looks like it's room for that. So is this bed? What do you think? Is this normal size bed? Is it larger than the, just smaller than the other trucks?
So I don't know what the average truck bed size is because they come in all different sizes. All-terrain tires, off-road tires come in 33 and 36 inch are the two standards I'm aware of. Those are probably 36s. So that means you've got 6 feet of linear space in that bed, making it pretty darn big. You go back to the 70s and everybody had an 8-foot bed, but they didn't have 2 rows of seating. So that's a good size bed, I would say, well above average for a base model of any full-size pickup.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know how it compares, but take a look at this. It's banged up. Look at this. There's like damage here. There's damage there. Looks like there's dirt here.
There's some trim missing in that top corner on the passenger side, right there.
Here.
Yep. And that's because I think they're beating the heck out of it. They brought those extra tires because they plan to chew them up. That's my belief. And you can see those are redwoods back there, my friend. They're out in the wild.
Yeah, you sure? Some people are saying it's Palo Alto.
Well, yes, but there are redwoods in Palo Alto.
Yeah, that's not the wild.
Well,
it's the opposite of the wild. Okay.
Fair,
well, some people are saying, look at this wonderful space back here. You can actually put digital signage. I saw somebody playing around showing that. That's pretty cool. It makes sense because it's beautiful and flat. You can make all sorts of signage to it if you wanted to as a company.
Yeah.
All right. So this, that Drive Tesla says this brings the number of different Cybertrucks spotted in the last couple of days to 3. And here's yet another video, a picture of it. Look at that. And then, curious why they have this kind of half open, it feels like.
So I had seen a post somewhere, Twitter probably, where it said, boy, look at this and then look at the prototype and you'll see it's a watered down version. And I'm looking at it side by side and I do not see it watered down. All I see is, it looks the same to me. Doesn't that
take a look at this. Yeah. This is the mirror. I don't think side mirrors, we've seen that before. And Elon has said that's going to be replaceable.
Easily
cool
removed.
Cycle.
Yeah, and a little piece of trim you can buy aftermarket to cover the hole where it came out. Yeah.
Okay. And
all they need to do is
look at this.
What is that?
It looks like a camera. I don't know.
Oh, you know what I think it is? A reflection of the mirror.
Okay.
I don't think that's a physical object. I think that's a reflection of the mirror.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe. All right. Nice.
That's why you pay me the big bucks, baby.
That's why we pay you the big bucks. Exactly. All right. That was cool. So that's the Cybertruck. It's very cool. We're starting to see it out there. At least it's being developed. And I think that Elon said that he's driving one now, and that's what we were waiting for. So far things are looking good. Although it might be, I don't know if he was sandbagging, not saying mid year. So there's still got work to do, right?
So I did want to sound off on that. He's always said middle of the year. Some people took that to mean Q2. I took it to mean Q3. I took it to mean we'll see prototypes for road testing in Q2. We'll see the beginning of the ramp in Q3, and then the ramp will continue from there. And I've seen critics saying, well, now it's pushed to 2024. No, sir. No, the full ramp is. But remember, it took years to get any of the other vehicles to full speed. in production, and that's true of any manufacturer. I mean, the e-Hummer has still sold fewer than 1,000 units, and it's been out
Right.
for 5 quarters. So
Yeah.
it's not a big deal.
All right, let's talk Ford. Now, I didn't
Yeah.
really spend a lot of time looking at the Ford earnings yet. And then there's this section about this Ford new design of their EV pickup truck.
Well, I've
What's
got
your
great news
opinion?
on both fronts here. The good news on earnings is it's only down 89%. Oh, 89%. My gosh, guys, you've been selling the highest. Okay, fine. Okay, let's get past that. This is beautiful. This is one of the most beautiful renders you can buy from Fiverr. It looks like a Nikola Badger. Apologies to my Nikola fans, but this is a rethink of what a vehicle should look like, not a rethink of how it should be made. You and I can go to Stellantis tomorrow and pitch that vehicle, and they could build it. Now, maybe it won't pass, the safety regs or the costing, but it's an easy thing to do. What they need to be doing is rethinking from first principles, ground up, how on earth are we going to be able to make a pickup truck that's actually cost effective? And that ain't it. That one's going to, if you could make that, it'd be 200 grand.
Okay, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I do have a thought on Cybertruck I'd like to share with you. What is extreme scale? Everything we're talking about the past, we're talking about the present, we're talking about the future 3 months out. What is extreme scale? That's Master Plan Part 3. So for the US, extreme scale is pickup trucks, but those don't really export. For the global market, we need a smaller Cybertruck. If you could make a smaller Cybertruck with the same design principles and philosophies, you could sell it in Australia and New Zealand as a ute. You could sell it in Europe and Africa. Well, yeah, an El Camino. They love those.
Okay.
Those are their version of pickup trucks. You could sell it in Africa and Europe as a utilitarian vehicle. It would be something people could actually buy and have use for. And to me, that's what I think extreme scale is. For the US, it's Cybertruck, and for international, it's a smaller Cybertruck.
Yeah. I'm a little worried about Ford. I thought that if you had asked me a month ago, I thought they were going to do okay because they're doing a good strategic moves. But given the earnings that they just did, and the loss that they have, and what will happen when Cybertruck comes out next year or the following year, their F-150 will get cut. Will be hurt. Maybe not as much as people think, but it will be hurt, and they may not be able to recover from that. So
first of all, strongly disagree. Best-selling truck, best-selling vehicle in the US, million a year consistently. It's down under 700,000 already. What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Are people not using truck? Has the form factor fallen out of favor like the station wagon did in favor of crossover SUVs? No, the pickup truck is still popular. Something else is happening. Part of it is the people who will only ever buy a Ford but want an EV are waiting for the Lightning, and it ain't for sale. You can't get one.
They can't get it. That's right.
You can't get it. And the market is changing, and Ford is not in a position to do it. Ford announced that after their recent price cuts, they believe they can be profitable on EVs by 2025. And GM has said the same thing. They hope to be profitable on EVs by 2025. That's a problem. That means every EV they sell is a bucket of bucks they lose. That's not sustainable.
Of bucks they lose. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, right? I mean, if they can't produce the F-150 Lightning EV, then they're going to start losing the ICE car EV or the ICE car version of the F-150, right? So, all right.
Yeah.
So,
well, and by the way, there is an electric EV pickup maker, Rivian,
yes,
who just laid off 6% of their workforce.
Yeah.
Problem.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens to the Cybertruck. I did this incredible tweet that got 1 million views about the Cybertruck. It was pretty bombastic. and
Wow.
got 4,000 likes on it, but I got 1,000 comments of people who hate the Cybertruck. So
Hmm.
it was one after another. They hate Elon, they hate Tesla, they hate the Cybertruck,
Hmm.
and so we'll see
And
where this goes.
all that's fair. All that's fair. If 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 50% of humans despise the Cybertruck, that means the total addressable market is only in the billions, right?
I love it, Brian. Love it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, let's keep going here. So this is Model 3. So we saw these Model 3s as well. So let's take a look at this photo. There's a Cybertruck here, and then we saw some Model 3s here, and they've got it covered. And so this is possibly the refresh of the Model 3 that's coming up. And Omar said there's two possibilities I can think of. The first is that this Model 3 has a large rear underbody casting. Would that even be visible? The other is that they're hardware for test cars. So that means that they probably have different sensors and cameras throughout the cars are. And then people posted this, which is, what are these openings here for? This one or these ones here? And then
Okay, so everybody's overthinking. You can't see the castings from the outside of the car. What we're looking at, those are pants, my friend. And those things
what's a
down below,
pants?
those are pockets. Those are pants pockets. That's where you put your phone.
Oh, I see.
Clearly,
So those are
right?
pants pockets. Okay, gotcha.
I mean, someone can tell me in the chat, but these are pants.
Okay. Well, this is Cyber Mike. My friend Mike said they added aftermarket tail lights. That's all it is. Maybe that's what this is. Maybe beautiful lights. They want to
They look
cover it.
great. They do look great.
They look great. And
I
then some
do
people
not
are
have
going,
an,
is it
yeah, rocket thrusters.
rocket thrusters? Is it exhaust pipes? Because now it's a new gas model. And then they probably don't have to shell out to make, they just, that's as you said, they're just cheap and trying to keep old covers, and they're reusing old legacy ones.
Yeah, that's possible.
Jokes.
But
These are jokes.
the non-joke answer is I don't have an answer. I don't know what they are doing or what they could even be trying to hide other than just a minimal fascia update.
Yeah. It's most of the changes will be inside the car, correct?
Yeah. Under the skin. I mean, you might see some subtle changes. You know how most manufacturers, when they make a new platform, they already know what the next 6 facelifts are going to look like, because every year a new model, we just tweak it a little bit. Those are all planned out. They're not changing them along the way unless there's some tremendous pushback. And even then, I really don't think there are. I really don't think there are.
All right. So let's do this. Next big stuff. Oops, what's going on here? Here we go. IRS has increased the EV cap for the Model Y longer range. So every Model Y is now available to be able to take advantage of the $7,500 EV credit and up to $80,000. So this is, what Farzad created the petition, and of course Elon and the team went to Washington, and so now every model year, they're all going to be able to apply for this and then be part of it. So that's going to be huge. This Model Y is a #1 sales car. It's going to probably it'll definitely be the #1 sales of all vehicles this year. It's a retroactive to January 1st, so they clarified that. And then this change will allow crossover vehicles that share similar features to be treated consistently. So, okay, they clarified that. So, wow, big news.
First of all, I can't believe it. I'm shocked. I'm surprised that they did the logical, obvious thing. Normally it comes down to, some bureaucrat made a decision and now we can't back out of it. But this is, in my opinion, the reason Elon went to Washington last week was to say, look, this doesn't make sense. Normalize it. I don't know what it takes to normalize it, but this doesn't. Do you really want me to install some rickety third rows for $1,000 so people get 3,500 and chuck them in the trash? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Do I need to add an inch of clearance? I can do that, but it doesn't make sense. Just provide that gosh darn credit. Right?
There's too many headwinds for Tesla. It's crazy. It's amazing. I mean, Model Y, the IRS, the coming of the Cybertruck, the macro seems
the
to be
manufacturer
improving.
credit for the batteries.
the battery, the 4680 Giga Nevada is coming out. I
Yeah.
mean, people were concerned about the 4680 being reduced and as a slowdown. So some people have said that 4680 has been delayed by a year and Cybertruck has been delayed by a year. What's your
Mm.
comment about that?
So Cybertruck is still on schedule, as we discussed. The 4680 is not delayed. It's they're already making it in Texas. One of the 4 lines there is already running. The other 3 are being configured now. It's been produced at Cato Road for over a year. The factory in Berlin is going to be making 4680s. That building is complete. It's getting its equipment put in now. All the HVAC is done. That is going to be coming online within about, I would say, the next 4 to 6 months. They're going to very quickly enter the top 10 battery manufacturers and get well into the top 5, I would say, pretty quickly. And the neat thing about the 5 names above them is they're all companies that already sell to Tesla. You've got BYD, which makes the blades that go into the standard range. You've got LG that makes the S and X, as well as the performance and long range out of Shanghai. You've got CATL that makes the standard range in China. I mean, and then Panasonic, of course, and then Samsung. I mean, Samsung hasn't started selling yet, but they've got a 4680 line in development. It's all happening. The only company, even SK Innovations, I think, has a 4680 pilot line because they're hedging their bet because they're not confident Ford is going to buy enough batteries. So everybody is selling batteries to the big dog.
Yeah. So this is just looks like it's breaking news. Darby shared that Tesla just released a new Megapack video on YouTube. So everybody go there and watch this thing. I wonder what this is. This is Tesla, right? The company sharing Megapack video. And so they are probably getting ready to go out big time and start announcing it to the world. They've been kept it quiet because, first of all, they weren't Q4, they weren't making any profit on it. Lathrop had to get to kind of mass production. I think in March 1st, Megapack's going to come out and they're going to start talking about Tesla as an energy company, not a car company. And
so
I'm
I
really
do have a
hopeful
quick
that
thought
that's the case. Yeah.
On the Megapack, which is there was a lot of talk of where are they building the next Megapack factories? And I believe the answer is they're not. They're not. They're going to make Lathrop a assembly line. Because if you look at it in the videos, you can see it's not an assembly line. It's stations. That's how you build something in low volume. And I think they're going to, why wouldn't they?
Expand
They've got all the
Lathrop?
pieces, is not expand it, but just make it into an assembly line. Because that's going to cut your cost dramatically. It's going to be ridiculous. And once you do that, these are high volume, high margin items that happen to be the exact shape of a shipping container. They're going to ship them all over the world and it's going to just work. And
how do you know these kind of things? How do you know this kind of fact like that? That's crazy. Okay.
Well, I mean, I might follow Tesla a little bit closely, but
a little bit too much, right?
A little bit too much for my own good. The thing is, they're going to, they can use any battery of any chemistry and make it work. And so they're going to have opportunities that the competition doesn't. It's going to give them more margin. It's going to give them more volume. It's going to give them more market cap. And then the software is on the back, the virtual power plant, the auto bidder. They're going to be in a very unique position software and service wise in the next 3 to 5 years. And the other guys are going to be stuck selling batteries.
Yeah. Okay. I think, as investors, we need to just be careful not to overhype this thing again, because then the expectations go through the roof. And then not only are we disappointed, but the stock gets disappointed. And it might happen right now in March. It can also happen sometime later in this year or maybe in next year, right? But I'm really thinking it's going to happen soon. So
if your investment horizon is less than 5 years, I cannot tell you that Tesla is a good investment. If your investment horizon is 10 years plus, I can't think of another company that is as positioned as Tesla is to capitalize on as many different markets. It's a once in a generation, maybe once in a lifetime kind of company, in my opinion.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Okay, everybody. Thank you very much. Brian, always appreciate you, buddy. Talk to you guys.
Love you, buddy. Talk to you soon.
Bye.